Welcome to another episode of Fun with Cars. Today we're going to put a thermostat in my brother's Monte Carlo. It's windy again today, so sorry about all the wind noise as usual. We're going to start by taking this air conditioner off. Get that out of the way just enough. We got to get this thermostat out. The coolant's been drained already. I didn't show that boring part. There's a petcock underneath who drained most of the coolant out. Might spill a little, but we'll figure that out later. We just pulled a bunch of vacuum lines off. Actually, we'll leave them off. That plugs into the thermostat housing here. Got to remember to put them back. That's what I'm a little worried about, is how brittle some of this stuff is. The coolant temp sensor I just unplugged. There's 2 9/16. Ooh, I don't like that at all. I gotta work this one back and forth a bit. Kinda a little worried about this one. If that breaks off, we're gonna have a bad day here. Okay, the housing's out of the way. Now if we can get that thermostat out. I just freed up the thermostat by pushing on it, but I'm trying to pry the thing out of here, so. Of course, not being at home and not having all the tools that I would like it right now. Do one better here. Alright, so here's the new thermostat. Now, the thermostat doesn't have a gasket with it. We're going to clean up the threads on these bolts and then we'll return them. Alright, we got the new thermostat, we got the bolts cleaned up. Didn't come with a gasket, so we're going to do the wrong thing and reuse the original gasket on the housing, but that could end in a leak. But right now, at least it's better than overheating. We're just trying to get this thing on the road again, so to speak. And now that we cleaned up all the bolts, we can take this off again. There's a saying, we do it nice because we do it twice. We're going to tighten this back up and help as regard to keeping that thermostat where it belongs. We're going to change that fuel filter at the carburetor too, although I don't know if I brought that wrench that I needed, but maybe we can get it out without it. Alright, so using metric because they have no standards here, we'll try to get this thing freed up. Another airplane along with the wind noise. Anyways, we got this line off here. If you dip down in there, you can see the line. It's got a 5/8 hex fitting. Unscrew that. The filter is underneath here into the quadrajet. Alright, so once you get it broken free, it pretty much spins out. It's brass into aluminum or whatever the carburetor is made out of. I just have to hold the line back so that we can get to parts and pieces now. Ooh, this looks pretty funky. Okay, so here's the fuel filter. So, fuel filter, this is a new one. I just put fingerprints on it. The rubber open end goes towards the end where the line screws in. Put this in. Once we get it started, there's a spring back there. Leave that right where it is. It just forces the filter against the opening there. Alright, I got it threaded in by hand. Now we're going to snug it with the wrench. You don't have to kill it, just snug it. These old, yeah, that's tight. And then you got to be careful threading the line back in. Now, because this is a southern car that came from Florida, well, it was originally from Florida, now Western New York, but it's never been driven in the winter. I can turn most of these things by hand, which is really unheard of after a few years in this climate. Got that threaded in by hand. Take the fuel line and we will snug it with 5/8 wrench. Alright, fuel filter is replaced. We're going to put it back together, make sure all the lines are hooked up, the vacuum lines. Got the coolant temp sensor hooked up. We'll add some coolant to it and then we'll give it a run and see what happens. Add some fresh coolant to it. Fire it up and get the Alright, the thermostat housing isn't pouring. We're waiting for it to warm up. Topping off the coolant as it expands. Make sure the thermostat opens. And then we'll put the radiator cap back on and give it a little whirl. Car is running.